Hello there. Welcome to the executive wine store for people or individuals who are incredibly important, which I assume it would be you. Hence what you're doing here in this wine store. You're here to get some of the finest wines, are you not? Perfect. You've come to the right place, because here is a perfect place to pick up 1 bottle, 2 bottles, 3 bottles, 4 bottles, 20 bottles, 100 bottles, how many you want. Take back to work, I don't know, for you to enjoy, savor the moment, get to understand every single little note there might be in that particular wine. Wine tasting is a very luxurious thing for highly important persons such as yourself. An executive, well, of course you wouldn't be here if you wasn't an executive yourself, right? So you can have the luxury to come here, have an abundance of wine tasting, drinks that you can savor and pick and choose and select. Your finest drink for you to, I don't know, take back to work with you, take back home with you, go out. I don't know what you do with your wine, but whatever you do, it starts here. Here is the place where you can really relax, switch off. And from one executive to another, we can enjoy the process, try some wine. You know, it's a very relaxing process. And don't you worry, if you're not too familiar with wine tasting and things of that nature, don't worry, there's a process, and I'm going to help you with that process. A bit of smelling, heighten the senses, a bit of tasting, and looking's very important. All of these things combined you have to do to fully appreciate a wine and what it's got to offer you, okay? So this process is as long as however many wines you want to taste, okay? So what kind of drinks do you normally drink? I beg your pardon? Lemonade. That's not an executive drink. I'm talking alcoholic, like malt whiskey or, rum or something like that, something a little bit stronger. You like orange juice. That's not as executive as perhaps I was expecting, so you really are quite new here. Don't you worry. Don't worry about that. I've got you covered, and I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to get you sorted with some wines then. Okay, so part of the wine tasting process, I'm going to give you a lot of glasses, and we're going to top each one of those glasses up. There's a specific glass for every type of drink, okay? And we're just going to taste and go through them all, find something right for you. Does that sound just right for you? Of course, being an executive, you have to make snap decisions, so quick. And when it comes to wine, people like us, we know straight away if we like something or not. Right. That's good. Okay, so let me get a selection here for you. So quite a common one. We've got prosecco here. Okay, so every single bottle that you see here, we stock, of course, in the extra large size. These are literally just small tasters for the wine. So we've got prosecco here. If you want something that's a little bit stronger on the palate, then perhaps you want to go for a little red. Okay, or if you want something which is a bit more upmarket, if you drink it a bit more casually as an executive, you might want to go for the carver or something like that. One more example here for you is something which, maybe not that one. If you want something a bit more dry, a perfect white wine could suit you perfectly there. Okay, so we've got lots to choose from and lots of glasses to try with. Okay, so why don't we try first with a red? I think a red is always a good place to start for highly important people such as yourself, right? And I say we should start off with the Carbonero Sauvignon, and this is a Casillero del Diablo. So this wine, let's have a little taste. Let me know what you think it is, okay? So get the bottle here, make sure it's all nice and fresh, nothing's in there. Everything is just perfectly neutral here. Have a little smell of that. Okay. Truly is quite a lovely scent there. Okay. So what we'll do, we will get a little bit. Oh, no more than that. No more than that. So what we do with this, we take this, we just swirl it around a little bit. Swirl it around. We want it to caress the cup, the glass. Okay, we want the flavors to marinate itself around the glass. Okay, that's what an executive does. Okay, normal people will just swig it, have a smell, have a good smell of that. Okay, bring it back and again, clear the palate, smell it. Yeah, enjoy it, savor the moment. Okay, now we're ready to. Right, now you're ready to taste this. So I don't know if you've been to an executive anything before. So there is a process that being an executive that you've got to become accustomed with when it comes to trying drinks and wine. First thing, holding your glass like this, okay? Make sure everybody knows how important you are. Okay, that all begins with holding a glass like this. You could tell instantly how important I am because I'm holding my glass like this. You've got your wine there to taste, okay? Keep it, of course, no more than a quarter of the glass. We swirl it around a little bit. We've already marinated the glass, but we swirl it around. Bring it up to your nose. Taste, bring it away. Okay, swirl it around, keep swirling it. Okay, bring it down, let it touch your lips. No more than a touch. Let it just get your mouth ready to accept the flavor, okay? Keep looking important at all time. This is the most important thing for an executive. Okay, now once you've swirled it around and people know how important you are, okay? You've got your wine, okay? And then it's time to taste. Superb. Only a small mouthful there. We've got to get your mouth prepared for the wine, okay? And then you take it. Smell. See what I did there? You've got to contemplate. Contemplate. As an executive, you've got to make sure that you're really exploring the flavors. So that means you've got to get all those notes. And this has a very dark note, but it's very sort of an underlying fruity tone to it. Okay, when it comes to wine tasting, okay, it is etiquette for executives to, of course, share a glass with one another. That shows that how upmarket an executive is, and that nothing social etiquette is, of course, of the utmost importance. So sharing a glass with someone is, of course, a way of friendship between executives. All executives know this, and of course this means people know how important we are as well. So there's your glass there. Do enjoy and let me know. That's right, start the process. What you taste there. That's right, enjoy it. Let it back to your nose. Right. Perfect. So what what you think of that one. I see. Okay, there we go. So, what do you think about that one there? Don't forget the executive pose there. That's most important. So, perhaps we should head towards maybe something which is a little bit more casual for executives. That means that's something you want to drink, which literally will be showing everybody how important you are. So this particular prosecco could be right up your street. So you need a champagne glass for prosecco. So how is that one there for you? I can tell, don't forget the executive pose. That's right, being an executive, that means you gotta uphold the pose. So perhaps you want to go for something a little bit more different. Okay, a carver is something which a lot of people, like executives, drink this perhaps a bit for breakfast, to celebrate the previous day's profits, of course. Okay, so carver could be something that is really casual. Of course, we stock all of these in extra large wine bottle sizes. Okay, so it would have the same principle. You have to take it off like this, and once you've done so, okay, you've broken the seal. Okay, we can take off the packaging there. So the only difference would be, of course, there would be a normal cork in all of the wines and drinks and bottles. There would always be a cork on there that you have to, traditionally take off. But for the testers, obviously you don't have that. It's a little bit more easy for you. Okay, so a carver is sparkly. It just sits, it tickles, and then it sits in your mouth. It's a really refreshing sort of wine, shall we say. Okay. As you notice, my skill with pouring is unprecedented. Okay, so it's a different type of testing with a cava. Okay, so once you've got it here, this should be more than sufficient to test it. Okay, swirl it around, bring it around, swirl it, make friends with it. Hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there. It smells absolutely delicious. Okay, with a glass such as this, which would be in a flute glass. Okay, for an executive, it's all about holding it like an executive, you see. So normal people will probably hold the glass like this, and it would be very simple. So you can, uphold the executive position that you hold. Executives would hold a glass like this. Okay, it's a bit of an art form. Okay, finger on top, behind, and then make sure that we're flicked out there as well. Okay, so we've got ultimate control of it, but you show that people how important you are because of the way you hold your glass. What an important individual. This is sort of what you would expect with a healthy breakfast pose or something like that with your carver. Okay, so with twirl it around, it's introduced itself to the glass. Swirl it around a little bit more. Let it touch the lips. Okay, it's touched the lips. Swirl it around a little bit more. It's gone down the palate just right. Smell, enjoy. Smell, enjoy. Swirl it around. That's right. And then let it sit there just for a little bit, accept the flavor, and then of course continue the pose, like almost as if you're not bothered by whatever someone's saying. Okay, hold the position, hold the line, and enjoy the flavor. Okay, this with a carver, there's always a little bit of like a vanilla-y, a sort of pleasant aroma and a taste which just sits there, and it's a little bit different. So how about we branch forward? Would you have a recommendation for wine, prosecco, champagne? I beg your pardon, rosé. Executives don't drink rosé. No, Yeah, this is a rosé here, but we just have it for stylistic reason. You like to try it? Well, I'm sure there's no harm in it. Okay, so this is a prosecco rosé. So make sure every time you get a rosé, don't just get a plain rosé. Make sure it says prosecco on it. Okay, so people know that you're a kind of a big deal. You know, right? So what we can do with this, because it's a rosé and a prosecco, you can. There's a fine line. There's a balance when it comes between glasses. You see, so a wine glass would be sufficient. A flute would be even better, but a wine glass would do just fine still. Okay, this is a very light prosecco. Okay, this is an Italian prosecco. Okay, they make really good prosecco in Italy. Okay, this is what we stock. We stock really large, extra large versions of this prosecco. Okay, this is gonna set you back only about £300 per bottle, but it's a very casual one. Yeah, I know, peanuts, right? It's a very casual one. The previous prosecco, that's about 400 per bottle. Like I said, the big bottles. Yeah, I know it's cheap, and of course the red wine that we had there as well, a little bit cheaper at $399.99. Yeah, I know. So a very competitive price, and of course, being an executive, you probably want to buy several of each, I imagine. So, okay, so we just get this one open here. Okay. So, same thing again, all of the other bottles have a proper cork. These twist and turn for tasters. Do forgive me, but I forgot to ask what your big executive line of work is. You're an executive of executives. I haven't heard that one before. Sounds fascinating. Okay, so you've got your glass there, okay? Nice. Always check the glass neutral, okay? Tiny bit, remember, tiny bit. Swirl it around. Introduce the rosé to the glass, okay? Bring it around. Let that flavor start to bring its senses, like come through. Let the notes speak to the glass, okay? Smell it. That smells about right, okay? Okay, that's probably a little bit too much, down a quarter, but once you hear the fizz die down, then the flavor has introduced itself to the glass. That's the sort of note, the prime time to drink. It would be about that time, okay? So the bubbles have begun to stop there, okay? At the top, it's a very light sort of look, okay? Swirl it around, okay? Bring the glass around. Okay, introduce the glass to the rosé and vice versa. There we go, there we go, there we go. Bring it for a smell. Release. Okay, and bring it for a smell. Release. All right, that's looking good. Touch the lips. Release. Touch the lips. Release. Okay, swirl it around. Round and round and round we go. Round we go. Okay, and enjoy. So, I'm not quite sure on rosés as a whole for executives, but if that's your taste, then make sure it's always got the bubbles to it and it's at the prosecco variety. That means people know that you're very easygoing. It's a very easygoing, flavoursome drink. A lot of fruity notes to it. Okay, it's a very summery sort of experience you have in your mouth. Okay, I'm gonna have one more sip there before I give it to you. Yeah, right. Remember, holding the glass, there's a little bit more of a difference here. Make sure you have 2 fingers out this time. Okay, and when you're holding it a bit like this, okay, and look like You know, nothing is going to phase you. That's most important when you're trying a new sort of drink like this, okay? How sophisticated you will look. Everybody will, I'm sure, will think you're an executive, okay? That's right, you know the deal. Bring it around, swirl it around, introduce the wine, let me know what it tastes like. Okay, bring it further away, then bring it back. Enjoy it, savor the moment. Okay, bring it away. Don't get too familiar with it. Don't let it think it's your friend yet. No, bring it back. Okay, in the mouth, touch lips. That's enough. Out we go again. Bring it back in again. Have a nice taste. Let it sit there. And how is it there? And you've got the pose there too. Right. I think it's time to taste something a little bit more different. We'll branch away from Proseccos and the reds, and perhaps we'll go for something a little bit more dry. Okay, how about a Chardonnay? That might be suited for you. Hard is a very common Chardonnay, but it's the size of the bottle which shows what an executive you are. So, taster size, perfect. Bottle size about that big, and these go for about 300 per half, so about 600 full bottle. Right. Okay, so let's get that out there for you. Excellent. So remember, check. It's neutralized. It's ready. It's ready for the wine. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let it touch. Swirl it around, okay? Bring those notes to the glass. This is what we call a wine clean, okay? Make sure if you serve something like this that people see you doing this, okay? Once they see you doing something like this, they will know how important you are, okay? You know your wines, you know your drinks, and you're well versed in drinking this sort of crap, this stuff. Okay, so swirl it around. It's seeming about right there. No more than a quarter. Okay, we'll place that there. Okay, so this has a very dry taste to it, but it has some certain tints to it, which you'll be able to pick up with the notes as it touches your lips. Okay, so bring it in, bring it away, bring it in. Hello there, bring it away. Okay, bring it back, touch the lips. Bring it away, bring it back in, bring it away. Okay, make sure you hold in the wine glass as such, okay, casually like this, okay, always important that people see you doing this, remember that. Okay, now I'm gonna come in for a big taste. Let that sit there with you. Okay, so you can really understand the beautiful, disgusting flavor of that wine, and as it comes close, you'll pick up notes. Certain notes. It doesn't help that I've, of course, done my teeth just before this, so every note that I've had so far has been slightly minty, but apart from that, bring it away. Bring it close, bring it away. So it's a little bit of a sharp taste of this, but it has that dry quality to it. So if you're having a meal or something like fish, you would bring out something like this, okay? Make sure people know that you always go for the white, okay? When you want to look like you know all about your wines, okay? Okay, so I'm just gonna bring it around there for you. Okay, swirl it around. There you go. Okay, okay. Bring it back. Do what you need to do with it. Keep the pose. Okay. Good. You're doing good. So we got 2 more drinks here for you, or 3 more, which I think could be suitable. Okay, so we could go for the hardest, but they're pretty disgusting. But if you want to be a bit more executive, then may I suggest that we go for something like this, okay? Small Proseccos, and this is a Prosecco dark, this is an extra dry Prosecco. You'll notice the difference with them both. Okay, we got 2 more glasses left. Okay, and I suggest that we really do enjoy these last ones here until you want to, if you want to try something else. But executives usually, no more than a dozen to try, because otherwise you'll mix up all the flavors. Right, so we'll just open this up. That's right. How was that one there for you? I noticed that you spat it out on the floor there. Yeah, so I don't blame you. Okay, not that good, but that's fine. You've maintained the pose still, so that's of course fine. Don't worry about it. No, you're an executive. You don't have to worry about things like that. Okay, someone will clean it up. I'm not gonna clean up. Somebody will. So let's open that one up there. Okay, same thing. Remember, all the traditional bottles, they have corks. These ones, no. Open it up, let it sit there, bring it open. Right, so we could go for the prosecco flutes, but I'd say we're going to go for a slightly larger glass. You'll notice it's all about the right sort of glass when it comes to trying certain wines. Okay, so with a larger glass you can let it spread out a little bit. It's not as compact, and you can really understand what that drink is all about. Okay. See the bubbles? That's the perfect amount. The air's still going up. Okay. However, I did forget to crush the glass, neutralize it with the flavor. I don't adhere by my own rules, but it's alright when you're an executive, because you can make mistakes like that. You can afford to make mistakes. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's bring it around. Okay, introduce it to the glass. This is perhaps something that you might have if you wake up in the middle of the night and you think, I'm not going back to sleep. So perhaps you would go for something a little bit like this. Okay. Hello there. So out of all the wines so far, this certainly has the most pleasing, the most casual, the most sort of, it introduces itself to you, and you in turn accept the introduction, and you befriend it rather quickly. Okay, bring it back. Nice one. Right, so you have a try of that. Twirl it around. Yeah. Now have a sip. Do what you need to do. The flavor is unlike anything, isn't it? It's very satisfying. It just gets you right. Yeah, you got it. So whilst you enjoy that, okay, how about that I prepare the final one here for you? Right. So this is an extra dry prosecco. Okay, there are certain occasions that you drink a drink like this, but today we're just trying it. And as an executive, you can of course have it whenever you want. Okay, so the previous price of the last prosecco is only about $800. Right, yeah, so for prosecco in an extra large bottle, nothing, right? Yeah, so it's probably you're probably the same sort of price as you go to a kiosk and get a bottle of water or something like that. Okay, let's open her up. Okay, so this is an Italian prosecco, extra dry and perfect when it gets a little bit hot out there. Check, it's neutral. Just the small amount. See, ready? Okay, bring it around, swirl that beauty around, okay. Hello there, I'm getting ready, getting acquainted. Right, there we go. And there we go. Right, okay. That's about right. Right. Some might say Prosecco's are perhaps absolutely disgusting like old wines, but in an executive wine store such as this, for executives such as yourself, things like this, it goes down. You don't want to think about anything else. You just know that this is going to settle and go down very quickly, okay? So bring around the glass, bring it around. Hello there. Right. Okay, I know what I'm working with here. Okay, round again. Yeah. Right. Touch the lips, bring it away. So, because it's extra dry, when you accept the flavor, it has a cutoff point which is really quick. Okay, so it's a very unique taste. So if you love like a quick sort of experience, this certainly does satisfy in that respect. So bring it away, bring it back. Right, so this has real sort of strawberry notes to it, but there's a cutoff point that's substantially quicker than the other wines. And there we have it. So remember, be an executive, hold it like this, okay? If you're ever out in public enjoying a drink such as this, make sure they know you're the executive. Okay, both hands, something like this, something casual, nothing that brings too much attention to yourself, okay? Because there's no need. Have a good look around. Yeah, that's right. Perhaps expect the glass, see what's inside. Look as snobby as possible. Okay, pretentious would also be a word that might be used, but as an executive, it doesn't matter at all. Okay, so if I do something like this, you probably think that I know everything I know about wine, and I certainly don't look like I've just dropped something in my drink, right? So that's ready. That's looking good for you. Okay, it's perfect temperature. It's perfectly oxidized in there. It's just right for you to enjoy. There you go. So hold it. Do whatever you want with it. Throw it out. I don't know. Okay, but it's a different sort of experience with that wine, is it not? Yeah, totally. So there is a collection of wines which sorry, is it you that's moving or is it me? I don't know, but that's a collection of wines: red, white, prosecco, cava, rosés. This is just the very, very basic of the sort of the wine community. Okay, we're fully stocked with incredibly expensive wines, and the testers here are only the ones which you can buy in large bulk. Okay, the more important ones which have been aged for I don't know how many years, going from 50 being your list, something back to about 100 years, and perhaps slightly beyond that as well. Well, then we get down to some serious wines, and you're also in the right place to do that. But for someone who hasn't really had much of an interest in wines before, and you've come here for a bit of an experience, then perhaps these should be sufficient for you. But if you want something which goes beyond, or something we've already tasted, then I can show you some really expensive wines. I mean, we got lots around here as well. You'd like to have a look? I'd like to. That is an executive answer you've had there. You just gave me there. I like it. Yeah. So why don't we have a good look around? Okay. Try some old wines. Just between between us, you know, they're considerably stronger, more expensive, but executives, you know, we get to enjoy these things. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed all that. Good. And yeah, come, let's go and have a look around. Okay, take care of yourself. Cheerio. Oh, God.